Hey, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about how I use my computer on the back end for note management, task management, and keeping everything organized as I work on my board games. If you're new here, I focus a lot on music, board games. We'll be doing coding in a little bit later, and then obviously I love coffee and pizza, so you might see those appear on the channel from time to time. I am working right now on getting my game ready for manufacturing and bringing you along in the process. If that's something you're interested in, share with your friends, family, like, and comment below, and let's jump into it. Let's get to it. Let's go ahead and dive right onto my computer and I'll show you what we're talking about. Enough of this. All right, first application I want to show you, and this is my favorite, it comes on iPhone as well, is Twilight Dice. It is the most sleek, the coolest little dice roller application you can use. I love it. You can do multiples of dice. It's just really fun. If you're playing D&D and stuff, you can actually fudge the dice as well to protect your players, right? But that's the thing I use here, so I don't always travel with a set of dice, and you're not always in a place where you can physically roll dice without making somebody mad. So this is what I like to use. Next up, my two big applications are Things 3 and Bear. Now these are the workhorses that do basically everything on my computer. I have a window with these shared, and this stays open the entire day. If you're a Mac user and you've got some of those shortcut keys down, what that allows me to do is just quickly do Command Space, type in Bear, and pop right over to it. Or I can do the same thing and do Things and pop right over to it. The other two things that are really important for me in an application is to give quick access to them, just like you saw. That's more of a standard Mac feature, what I just showed. But more importantly is being able to add new entries at just a couple clicks away without having those buttons open. So for instance, I've changed my global command keys for those. So if I do Option Space, it'll actually create a new note for me and put it into the folder I'm looking for. And I can also change the folder here to something like test, and we can give it a name and whatnot. But this is a really quick way to launch yourself into a program so you can get there in a heartbeat and get the idea down without having to really think too much about it and scrub around before you can start typing. That's really important. And the same thing goes for Things 3, which is my task management, which allows me to, if I do Control Space, I can add a new task here globally, and it will just save and it will go right into the app. I don't even have to leave what I'm doing to add it in there. Super fantastic, both of those features. Love them, use them every single day. They're extremely important to my workflow. Something I particularly love about Bear is how quick it is to organize and access the documents you have. So for instance, everything is done with hashtags. I'll go ahead and create a new note within the projects folder, and you can see it's been giving a hashtag projects. Now you can nest these by just simply adding another line, so I can do projects, and you can just do / Fogbound, for instance, which is one of the games I am working on, and it will automatically sort that into the folder for Fogbound. Super quick and easy way to manipulate where information is at. Love it, and this is how I actually keep track of everything. If I ever run into a situation where I've been out and about, I've just kind of wanted to disconnect from the computer and work, I actually reference here. Now, benefit of this journal is it actually has page numbers, as you can see here, and those page numbers I reference in a document to say, hey, I've taken handwritten notes, they're in the journal on this page. That way, if I'm working on my computer, I can know where all the information is at, just basically creating links between all the programs I'm working in. What I'm gonna do now is actually set up the project folder and all the things I need to do for game theory. I've kind of been floating around and not having everything centrally organized, so I'm gonna go ahead here, show you how I do it and set everything up. Okay, before I get much further, I want to show you what I did here in Bear and how I set up my note. I'm just going to use this as an overview document that I can always refer back to and change down the road as I do things. I don't actually do any task management in Bear. I link all of my task management over to Things 3, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a second here. Next, I always like to put the date that I started it on, and then of course I need to sort it. All of my actual written out explanation will go below the line. Okay, so I just want to create a new area called Tabletop Games, and I'll go ahead and put a new project in here, which is going to be Game Theory. This is going to be the actual area where I have all my to-dos, the list and tasks of everything that I need to get done for the game as we get closer and closer to building some finalized versions. The last and most important part of these programs and why I have chosen them is the feature I'm about to show you next. Both of these have something called URL links that allow you to not only quickly create notes using a URL builder on their website, and I know most people probably don't know what that is, don't worry about it, but what's most important is I can go share and then do copy link. What this is a local link to this actual project on my computer. So I'll go here and go in here and actually add a link. We're going to do project management. And this is the link right here that I just copied from Things 3. And now when I do that, if I'm on any other area in Things, I can click project management and it will zoom me right over to this Game Theory page. That allows for super quick setup, and it doesn't matter where you're at on your computer or in one of these programs, you can quickly get to the things that you need. And just as you might expect, Bear does the same exact thing. So I always do copy link to note in Bear, and then I put that up in the notes section here. Out of all the applications, and I literally have downloaded, I think 90% of both the writing applications and the task management applications to see what features and how they would work, these two are by far the quickest, best, work well, and mesh together the easiest. You probably did notice that I have some things right here, Notability, Game Theory, Balancing. That is a link to, or not a link, but just a reminder of where I'm keeping that information. Notability is obviously a writing application that I use on my iPad with an Apple Pencil. I didn't bring it up because you could do this very same thing here with your notebook, and I honestly think that's might be a better solution for most people. So inside here, I can do cards that I have to set up. I can do graphic design that I still need to do. I can do manufacturing, research, and then actual test prints. Those are just a few areas of where I might have things, and then I can go ahead and do a new to-do and put in player cards. Those are something I have to do. I have to create those yet, and then graphic design. I can do print and play file. Now this program's a lot deeper than that, but I want to give you a quick rundown on what that might look like. I'll put some more notes over in here as I prepare for the next week and what I want to get done. But all in all, I hope this gives you a quick overview on the programs I use. If this is something that you don't necessarily have access to, or you see people like me using an iPad and taking notes, don't feel like those are important because they're really not. If I were to just have an iPad or a laptop, I would go laptop 1000% of the way. There's just so much more you can do, and honestly, if you really want to do hand drawing stuff, you could just buy like a Wacom tablet and plug it right in the side. The handwriting actually proven is a better way to remember what you're doing and keep track of things in the long term. So big props to all of this. And in fact, I just got 2 small new notebooks that are sitting on the shelf waiting for me to pick up my next game. So that's it, guys. Pretty simple video. I just want to give you a quick overview on how everything works. Hope this gives you some insight so you know the back end and what it looks like as I am moving through this project. I have an exciting video coming up later this week. I had a really hard time because this paper video and building some replica cards to the manufacturer style is what I wanted to get out, and I kept doing things and failing, and I want to show you guys a solution once it comes out, but it's not here yet. In the meantime, like, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so excited. If you are working on a board game or card game, give this a thumbs up and put a little information down below to let me know what you're doing. I'd love to know what projects you guys are working on, and look forward to the next video. Talk to you later.